life lasted only a brief 36 years, but she left a significant mark on modern American pop culture, and even on the history of world culture. Her birth is a mystery, as is her death. She became famous as a movie actress during her time. Each movie ticket cost just a few cents, yet the total box office of the only 10 films she starred in exceeded $200 million, making her one of the most box office valuable actresses in American history, ranked 6th among the greatest actresses by the American Film Institute. Her existence transcended the realm of movie stars. She was both a symbol of objectification in a patriarchal society and a benchmark for women's independence amidst the rise of feminism. She grew up in a small town in America, Guku Wu Yi, but she had deep entanglements with some of the most powerful and well-known figures in America, including President Kennedy. She was stunningly beautiful, unmatched in her charm, passionate yet lonely, complex yet simple. Ambitious, yet sometimes laid back and disheartened. She was a dream for many, yet a nightmare for others. Counting her life brings about a sense of lament. She was born on June 1st, 1926. Her mother was an editor at Columbia Pictures. But her mother's life was chaotic, leading to uncertainty about her father's identity. After giving birth to her, her mother suffered from postpartum depression, and she was sent to live with friends and relatives in town, where her mother could only come to visit her occasionally in her spare time. When she was 8, her mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia, hospitalized, and never returned. She was left without a father, and from that point on, without a mother. At that time, her name was still Norma. Young Norma moved through several foster homes and just turned 16, reaching the legal age to marry. She hurriedly married the neighbor's son of her foster family, just to escape the watchful eyes of her foster family. Young Norma was undeniably strong, making a living under someone else's roof. She learned to read people's faces from a young age. In photographs from that time, she smiled as if flowers bloomed, but seemed to always cover her carefulness with a smile. At that time, World War II was in full swing. Not long after her marriage, her husband was drafted. She worked on the assembly line in a factory. A photographer discovered her beauty, took some photos of her as a modeling for print, to show that young women from her hometown were actively contributing to boost the morale of the U.S. military. From that moment, young Norma realized that her beauty was worth far more than being a factory worker. She made up her mind to carve out a new life. In the 3rd year after her marriage, she divorced her first husband and began entering the entertainment industry. She once said that when she first started, she felt like a piece of sidewalk merchandise, but she never stopped improving herself. In 1947, at the age of 21, she started playing small roles in some films. Knowing her shortcomings, she spent the next 7 years studying acting under drama teacher Natasha Leites. As a small-town girl, she had no choice but to pave the way with her beauty. She never had a marriage. Her personal benefactor helped her in her acting career. The famous agent Johnny Hyde funded a minor surgery to reshape her nose and chin, and dyed her naturally chestnut hair to a light platinum blonde. From then on, she completely transformed from Norma to Marilyn Monroe. Monroe is a common surname in English, Morrow. Its Chinese translation is Men Luo, which only refers to her. She exclusively enjoyed this name in Chinese that holds the implication of her destiny. Monroe. After he got his trademark blonde hair and red lips, in 1949, at the age of 23, Monroe played 2 small roles in 2 hit films, The Night Is Not Enough and The Beauty. It really struck everyone. It was also in the same year that Monroe took several nude photos for money for publication. The nude photos were published in the first issue of Playboy in 1953. Monroe became the first ever Playboy model. Monroe reached her fame peak in '53. A guy wants to marry a rich, cute girl. Came one of Fox's top earners. Her soft, white, sweet, and sexy image has gained a large number of fans all over the world. People are crazy about her, and she gets thousands of letters every week. Paps are always watching. He's like a fish trapped with no escape. Her fame gave Monroe the courage to sue Fox, the studio that was draining her. He earned millions while only getting crumbs in return. He only earns $3,000 each month. He made Fox cough up $200,000. He set up his own studio and co-released the film 7 Years Itch with Fox, which was a great success. He was liked by the crowd. He earned respect all around. It was like he was putting his clothes back on just as he did before. It was also in this film that she dedicated one of the most famous scenes in film history. She held down her white skirt as the hot wind blew at the subway vent. Her platinum curls were flying. No one matches her beauty. That pic really bothered her husband. American professional baseball star DiMaggio's strong dissatisfaction. They divorced just 9 months later. She tied the knot with Arthur Miller in '56. She's always been into older guys. Arthur and he had a crush on each other, and they had a very sweet moment. It was also in this year that Monroe starred in 80 films as a co-producer. She got her first Golden Globe nod. Monroe started using pills to help her deal with stress and lift her spirits. Helps you sleep. He was often late and forgot lines. He worked with Olivier in Chicken and Shrimp. His messy ways drove strict Oliver crazy. They were too loud for a pic. Just needs editing to drop the film. In July 1958, he was back in Hollywood, making a comedy with Billy Wynn. Monroe's issues on set held up the whole team. Director Wynn vowed never to work with him again. They finished filming. It became a hit. The film made a whopping $25 million. It also won Monroe the only trophy for the winner of the Golden Globe Award. In 1959, Hollywood began preparing to film Breakfast at Tiffany's. The author of the original novel, Truman Capote, was eager for Marilyn Monroe to play the lead role. However, Monroe's difficult reputation made the producers hesitate. After much consideration, they ultimately chose Audrey Hepburn for the role, which became another iconic character for Hepburn. Filming of Something's Gotta Give started in 1960. The screenplay was written by her husband, Arthur Miller, and the male lead was Clark Gable. At that time, her relationship with her husband was already on shaky ground, just waiting for the divorce papers to be signed. Out of revenge, Arthur even changed the script during filming to make the lead character a prostitute. The atmosphere on set was extremely poor. Gable had to constantly mediate between the two just to get the film finished. This was the last film for both Monroe and Gable. Shortly after the film wrapped, Gable passed away from a heart attack. Also that year, Monroe met then-Senator Kennedy at a friend's party. In 1961, Kennedy became the President of the United States. His brother Robert became the Attorney General. The Kennedy family was one of the most powerful families in America. At that time, there were rumors that Monroe was deeply entangled with both brothers. Monroe had a direct phone line to the White House. On May 19, 1962, at a large gathering, in front of 4 million television viewers, she wore a sheer dress adorned with platinum and sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President." Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. This song solidified the whispers that were circulating at the time. It even hinted at an implicit rivalry with First Lady Jacqueline, a clever little town girl who had always possessed a certain survival wisdom, was then under the impression that by winning the affection of the world's most powerful man, she could break through the ceiling above her. For her stubbornness and foolishness at that moment, she would pay with her life just 2 months later. That night, The sheer dress she wore was later sold by Christie's for a record-breaking $1.3 million. In the early hours of August 5, 1962, Monroe was found dead in her bedroom at her Los Angeles home. Day, no conclusive cause of death has been agreed upon by everyone. The following year, President Kennedy was assassinated, and in 1968, Kennedy's brother Robert was also assassinated while campaigning for the presidency. In death, all distinctions of nobility and baseness were erased, leaving behind countless mysteries. Amidst endless praise and disparagement, Monroe was buried in a cemetery in Los Angeles. She had no children and bequeathed all her assets, including her most valuable rights to her likeness and trademarks, to her acting coach and friend, Lee Strasberg. Even today, through brand licensing, her estate earns over $10 million annually. Her ex-husband, Joe DiMaggio, arranged her funeral. She never remarried after the divorce and would visit her grave weekly with a bouquet of red roses, until her own life ended at 84. In her brief life, from a lonely small-town girl named Norma to an iconic figure of global pop culture, Marilyn Monroe ultimately proved over time that there was someone in this world who truly cared for her.